Alright, welcome one and all, whoever may be watching this, part 17, Planescape Torment. We just spent the last video in the brothel, trying to recruit a new companion, which has successfully been done. I think that was the most I've ever had to do to get a companion before. Apparently no one likes her.
Yes.
Okay, so I need to talk to her about... I mean, obviously I could talk to her about herself. But apparently she knows some stuff about Mort. So Mort is most peculiar. I have seen a great deal in my life, but nothing quite like him. He behaves somewhat like a Mimir. Granted, there's no denying he is knowledgeable, but he has a certain... She sniffs the air and wrinkles her nose. Batorian smell about him. Batorian smell? Yes, but he's not a Batezu, at least of any variety I've encountered. The smell alone, however, makes me treat the skull with caution. What do you mean when you say Batezu and Batorian? My apologies. Bator is one of the Outer Planes, the home of a race of fiends called the Batezu. They are evil creatures, yet they are organized and lawful in many of their behaviors. Some might call them devils. They believe in contracts and hierarchy. In many ways, they are like evil bureaucrats. Okay, so what about a Mimir? Mimirs are encyclopedias of knowledge. The owner may ask them questions, and if they possess the knowledge, they will inform the user of what it knows. And Mort is a Mimir? I don't believe so. Mort lacks the silvery metal that Mimirs customarily have, and he seems to have an attitude of his own. Such qualities are not present in conventional Mimirs. Grace shrugs slightly. He may be one, but he's unlike any I've ever encountered. Okay, so then... Now we can talk to Mort.
Hey, what's eating you, Chief?
You said you're a Mimir, right, Mort? Yeah, Mimir's a floating encyclopedia. You put information in, you get information out. But aren't Mimirs made of silvery metal? So, maybe some are, but I'm not. And there's stranger things on the plains than that, Chief. I don't think you're a Mimir, Mort. What are you? What's with the interrogation? What do you know about Mimirs anyway? I know enough to think you're lying to me. Okay, I'm not a Mimir, but I know a lot of stuff, so I might as well be one. What are you then? I'm a floating skull who knows a lot. What about the Batorian smell you have? What would you know about what Bator smells like? Unless... Hey, have you been talking to that Tanari, haven't you? What does she know? Well, she's obviously touched on something. That is a Batorian smell, right? Well, yeah, so I smell a little. Excuse me? Why do you smell like a Bator? I was in the Hells for a while, kind of a long while. The stench kind of grows on you. You're in the Hells? What were you doing there? See, well, there's this pillar on Avernus, the first layer of Bator. It's called the Pillar of Skulls, but it's more like a pillar of heads. To hear some of the Bashers tell it, it's supposedly made of the heads of Burks, mostly sages and scholars, who used their knowing of this and knowing of that when they were alive to stretch the truth a little. So much that they might have hurt or killed someone by doing it. Well, when I died, I ended up there. Funny, huh? Not really. Won't go silent for a moment. Yeah, you're right. It's not funny at all. You see, I think I knew a lot of things when I was alive. And maybe when I did know something, I didn't always tell the truth about it. I'm thinking that when I bent the truth once or twice, I may have let someone get penned in the dead book sooner than they should have. Can you remember who? I can't say I know, Chief, but I think it was you. At least once. Thing is, I can't remember what happened. I don't even remember being human, or what I was even like before I woke up on the pillar. Why did you forget? That's pretty much the way of things when you die, as I'm sure you're no stranger to. You just forget. I figured I wasn't a sterling member of the community when I was alive. But else, who is? Mort sighs. It's just that I can't help it. Nothing's worse than being honest all the time. Except being sentenced to the hells. That sounds a lot worse than telling the truth. Yeah, you're right. Again. Mort clicks his teeth. The way he does it reminds you of someone drumming their fingers. I guess just all that good and evil and lying and cheating catches up with you. And when I got penned in the dead book, it was my turn to pay the ferryman. So how did you escape the pillar?
Updated my journal.
Well, you helped me, Chief. When you showed up at the Pillar of Skulls, I pushed my way to the front. My obvious know-how and charm attracted your attention. You knew that I was the head that knew the most, so I cut a deal with you. Deal? As Mort speaks, your vision seems to bleed into a fiery red, and you hear a howling, a horrible screaming tower of voices, chittering, screeching, hammering, all of them begging, screaming to be freed, and Mort's voice, faint, almost lost in the horde. He sounds desperate, frightened, and pathetically, tragically lost. You, Skull, speak. The howling voices fall silent, and you watch the tiny, red-lined skull, its cracked features cast in a hellish light, turn its eyes up at you. Blood and ichor was streamed across its features, and its teeth chattered as if cold. I can help you. I know what you seek. All these heads, all their knowing. Just please, I beg you, free me. Let me help you, and I'll tell you anything, everything. Will you? Swear it, Skull. Swear you will serve me until my end days, or here you will remain. I swear. Just please free me. You watch as Mort sickeningly swallows, his pride almost a tangible thing. I beg you, let me help you, please. Very well, I shall free you. Your vision slides as if you were moving, and the howling, screaming cacophony begins again, a nightmarish horde of howls and catcalls and taunts and insults. The feel of your hands sliding into the filthy quagmire of the pillar and the biting of fangs, mandibles, and your hands locking around the tiny skull and tearing it from the pillar like an old scab. It is done. You look down at the bloody skull in your scarred hands, its eyes covered in ichor from the pillar, and its teeth chattered. Once, twice. It reminds you of a wailing newborn, helpless, and in the eyes of the man you once were, pathetic. I have freed you. Now your life and your death is mine, Mort. Your vision swells, the mists of the past drifting away, and Mort is still chattering on. We talked for a while, Chief, you and me, seeing whether the arrangement would work, and I think we both were really impressed with each other, so you invited me off the pillar, and I've kind of been with you ever since. What happened then? Well, I didn't know I'd lose most of the pillar's knowledge once I was out of it. I mean, how was I to know? I'd never been off that damn thing. But you were pretty understanding about it. You lost all your knowledge you said you had. Your vision swells again, making you dizzy, and you feel your gut churn. You hear the cracking, snapping of bone and Mort's howls, howling in pain, screaming for someone to stop killing him. Your hands lashing out again and again, and... Damn you, Skull, you lied to me. I'll thrust you back in that damnable pillar and leave you to die there. There is a chatter of bone against what sounds like metal, a floor or a wall, and the skittering of teeth knocked free. You can hear Mort mewling like a beaten dog for you to know that your suffering on the pillar will be nothing to the torment I will make you suffer. Your vision swells and Mort's eyes ebb, fading into his chattering rhythm. So you realize I still have my uses, so I took up with you, and I've been with you ever since. Mort, what did I want from the pillar, and how long ago was it that I freed you? Mort thinks for a moment. Well, as for how long, I don't know the exact count, Chief. Ages, I suppose. I've done all I could to help you each time, but Mort sighs. It's not easy, and as for what you wanted at the pillar, I don't know. Once you pried me off, I couldn't remember. Mort, why didn't you say something when we were at the mortuary? Mort suddenly becomes defensive. Because I never know who you're gonna be. Some of your incarnations have been stark raving mad. One time you awoke obsessed with the idea that I was your skull and chased me around the spire trying to shatter and devour me. Luckily you were crushed by a passing car in the street. Another, good and lawful, you tried to thrust me back into the pillar because it's where I belonged. Mort smirks. That's why. Besides, no harm ever came of you not knowing. So you've stayed with me all this time. Well, yeah, Chief. I said I would. Mort always keeps his promises. He pauses. Well, most of them. There was this one chit on Arborea who... You suddenly realize that Mort's tone has changed. Past the joke, you realize he's trying to hide something. Something about why he's with you. Mort, seriously, why are you still traveling with me? Chief, I said it's because I promised, all right? He looks irritated. What else could it be? I don't know. You didn't need to stick around after I freed you. Well, of course not, Chief, but I... And suddenly his tone of voice strikes a chord in you, and you know why he remained with you all this time. You feel guilty, because you led me to my death so long ago, isn't it? And you've been suffering ever since. Oh, come on, Chief. Me feel guilty? I'm Mort. No, I think that's it. When I came to free you from the fate you deserved, you couldn't help but try to help me. And when you could have left after I freed you, you remained, because you felt indebted. Mort is silent for a moment, looking at you. Maybe. You know what's funny? At first I don't know what the feeling was. Kind of slowly eats at you, you know? I mean, at first I thought it was a side effect of some enchantment that bound me to you, but after a couple 100 years I realized it was more than that. Something deeper. I just felt drawn, connected to you somehow. Maybe it's all your suffering, Chief, your torment. I don't know. Maybe I felt, I don't know, responsible for whatever it is I did. What if something I did brought you to this state? Thing is, I don't think me, or whoever I was, really ever had to see the consequences of the lying and cheating I'd done, and when I saw you for the first time when I was trapped on the pillar, somehow I knew that you were the one I'd betrayed. Once, long ago. Mort sighs. And that's all I know. I see. Thanks for coming clean, Mort.
Updated my journal.
Nah, don't thank me. Mort sighs. Sorry, I'm just reading all of the stuff that has just happened. Is that my things that have increased or Mort's? Okay, Mort sighs, and to your surprise, his voice seems stronger somehow, more confident. Okay, I think it was Mort. Some of the cracks and fractures in his skulls have vanished as if healed. Nah, the thanks is all to you. I feel like I just had a plane moved off my shoulders, so to speak. Alright, Mort, let's move on.
I feel stronger.
Alright, I'm just going to do some metagaming for a hot second. So, the tattoo on my back does say not to trust the skull, and I wonder if this kind of ties into it, that Mort has obviously done something way back when that got the Nameless One killed, and I wonder if there's some connection with all of that. Interesting! That was like a good 15 minutes of chatting. Oh, jeez. Let's go dexterity just to keep that going. I'm sort of just swapping between dexterity and intelligence. Okay, 5 hit points. Good man. Fighting skills improved. Nice. Oh, I should look at his spells while we're here. So he's got a new one. Kind of looks like that's that. Okay. Alright, so, there is somewhere else we need to go.
Alright.
Oh, okay.
Done.
I think it might be down here, maybe. Let's try to get something done in this video aside from talking. Which is fine, it's just a lot. Like, I would say that this game is definitely more of like an interactive book. Okay, there's a particular building that I'm trying to find. Which again is absolutely fine, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, let's sample a little poodle, eh?
But it does take,
Anna, were you raised in the hive? Mind your own business, succubus. I've nothing to say to you. Very well then.
maybe I should talk to Anna. Okay, are you alright? Anna just glares at you. Okay. Apparently she's not happy. Okay, I wanted to ask some questions. Why don't you ask that stuck-up pupus your questions then? Anna's eyes narrow to slits. Why are we even traveling with her? We don't need her, we don't. Okay, I'm gonna say I need all the help I can get, including yours. You're a stem-shrivel liar, ya. You only let me tag along with you 'cause you don't know what else to do with me, eh? Don't? Why didn't you just tell me to push off as soon as Farad made me your minder? Because... Do you think I like traveling with you? Do you? 'Cause yeah. Anna's face wrinkles in disgust. Your life, if you could call it that, is a right mess, like your skin, all cut up and scarred. You think you have some big meeting with the fates of destiny, but you don't. You're just a mess, yeah? Anna, I didn't ask you to leave because I didn't want you to leave. Oh, aye? And why is that then? This should be rich, it should. You pity me, is that it? You think I slow you down? Go on, say it. I don't pity you, and you don't slow me down. You're quick, you're skilled, and I really need all the help I can get. Anna frowns, her tail flicking back and forth. Aye, well... No, I'll gut her if she starts sizing us up for a feast, I will. She glares at you. And don't get any ideas I'm staying 'cause you want me to. I'm just helping you out, I am. Fine. Far out? Ooh, have I asked her about how she found my body? I don't think so, okay. Well, what were you doing looking for bodies in the pregnant alley? I mean, you would have had to have creeped your way past the tenement, then past the daybus to get to there. And the place isn't even heavily trafficked as the rest of the hive, so why would you even go looking for bodies there? Anna shrugs. Rest of the hive is picked clean, it is. Gotta find new spots to poach deaders, you do. As Anna speaks, you feel a crawling sensation in the back of your skull, and you suddenly realize she's lying to you. Are you sure, Anna? There must be something in your tone because it stops Anna's tale dead for a moment. Then it resumes, a little slower than before. I think. She frowns, and she seems a little uncertain. I don't usually go there to scarp deaders, I don't. To think of it, I'd never even been there before. I just came across it. So why did you go there? I don't know. And lucky for you I did, or you'll still be there. The same crawling sensation as before worms up the back of your skull, and with it comes another realization. Anna's lying, but oddly enough, she doesn't know she's lying. Anna, were you compelled to go there? Is that how you found me?
Updated my journal.
She nods, slowly. Aye, mayhap, and gives a half-hearted shrug. It wasn't one of my usual haunts, but I couldn't help myself. I just wanted to see what was there that day. And there you were, desert's timber. She pauses. You were like a lodestone, you were. I don't know what led me to find you. Okay. Alright, this is a lot of debrief. Hopefully my party is okay for the moment. Okay, maybe it's up here, of course. The one place that we don't check, or that I don't check. Is it the fest hall that I want to go to? Okay, so I thought that we would be looking for an actual building, but nope. Just an outdoor bar. Okay, more to fire out. You're Namel. I was told you would know the command word for this decanter. The woman makes no move to touch or examine the decanter, but only speaks. Namel took it from the stranger, turning it in her hands. Had she seen its like before, she thought? Perhaps. Yes, she remembered now. She returned the decanter, whispering into his ear as she did so.
Updated my journal.
You realize you know the word now. That's a word I can't pronounce. Though you're certain the woman never whispered to you, but merely she said she did. She blinks at you. Would the stranger leave her now, satisfied with what she has told him? Yeah, sure. Alright, so that means we can use the decanter, so we can go free the mage that's on fire. We also need to go check in with Farod, who I'm pretty certain is on the dead side of life. Love it, the guards are still all there.
Done.
Yeah, whoopsie. Duh, what happened? Who did this? Oh, far out. I'm not going to have any room in my inventory. Oh, we need to go sell stuff. Mort, you carry the keys. Probably should actually check in with Decon. I haven't talked to him recently. Okay, so we got all these things. Anna, my friend.
Aye. What is it you want then?
Anna, do you know how Farod died? She shakes her head. I don't know. No one with half a mind would. Farod got a long shadow, he does. Yeah, cross him. And you end up getting the stick, you will. You don't have to accompany me anymore, Anna. If you need to stay with the buried village, Nay, Anna interrupts you. I don't need to be with the village, and I was wondering what I'd do if Farod got penned in the dead book. I was. She snorts. Oh well, he's probably mounting someone's wall in the hells he is. But he's your father, don't you? Not me real, da, he wasn't. Her eyes take on a hard look. He was greedy, and he was stupid, and he was selfish, and he was weak. She frowns. And now he's dead, and that's all. Okay, so that's that. We did get his crutch, which apparently is like the way to open his treasure trove or something. So maybe we can figure all that out. Oh. Okay, touch. Nice, okay, so maybe we can explore this portal in the next video.